Blessings, family. I want to say peace and blessings, family. Uh, just wanted to take a moment out to talk to you guys briefly about what you see on the screen. Christian ADL Apologist. Let me say that again. Christian ADL Apologist. So where am I going at with this? I'm sure all of you can relate to what's happening with Kyrie Irving and some of the others that are being accused to being anti-Semitic or anti-Shemitic. The playbook that the church has done for those that are coming to the understanding of who they are. The playbook that ADL has used. The playbook that you see happening over and over again. When you research guys like Benjamin Friedman, Aaron Elhick, right? Some of those that actually raise questions to the origins, right, of the Jewish community as we know, that have raised questions about how we look at history when it comes to looking at the biblical ethnic Israelites. They were labeled to being, because Aaron Elhick is a geneticist who is of the Jewish community as we know. You have Benjamin Friedman of the Jewish community as we know them. But they were labeled as if they were losing their minds or that they were delusional. They couldn't use the term anti-Semitic, but that's what they were labeled. And so instead of refuting the information, the Anti-Defamation League and other groups equivalent to them, they began to go out on an all-out slander of the person, but not contest the information. And so we see the same playbook by those that are in the church. And some of you guys have been on the receiving end like I have, whereas though they can't contest your information, but they try to go on an all-out slander of your character. They try to go out all-out slander to insert or inject something to steer the narrative away from what it is, right? You guys seen what I was subjected to, right? Want to question my education to the point of defaming me by stating that I would go out and purchase my education in terms of paper mills and all that foolishness, right? When I called them to the floor, when I called some of those groups to the floor to say, hey, let's show your ID in comparison with my ID. Let's show your transcripts in comparison with my transcripts. Let's show your work history in comparison to my work history. Crickets. See, that's the playbook of the ADL. See, I work a very good job, right? Had my own independent business transition, but I work a very good job. High level, right? Project manager when I was out there before I transitioned to where I am now. Worked for AT&T, worked for the FDIC. I could go right down the list with my resume. And I'll put my resume up against any one of these guys, right? I was in the military for 8 years and got out on an honorable discharge. But yet, the ones that are pointing the fingers show their resume. Because see, this is the playbook in the church, these Christian ADL apologists. The playbook is, let's demonize the person and let's not talk about their work because they can't. See, that's what we see happening with Kyrie Irving. Let's demonize Kyrie Irving, right? He didn't do anything but just made a post. But really the goal was to demonize Ron Dalton's work. Ron Dalton said this about the Holocaust, which was a lie. They said that Ron Dalton don't believe in the Holocaust. That was a lie. They said Ron Dalton is honoring and sensationalizing, and trying to look at Hitler in a good light. That's nowhere in the documentary or inside the book. So that's the gaslighting that we see. You guys been there before. I want to say peace and blessings to my cousin from Boom down in Atlanta. When they can't handle your argument, they have to insert things to basically direct the attention over to something completely that has nothing to do. Just make up stuff, right? Just to completely make up stuff. When you see that, refer to them as the Christian ADL Apologists, because that's what they do. That's what they do. And the worst ones are the ones that look like you and I. That's why Christ said to his disciples, he said, hey, he warned them, he said, beware of what? Sheep, wolves in sheep clothing. In other words, the delusion, the attacks are going to look like you. It's going to come from your own people. So when you look at the John Hagees and all those guys pushing for Israel, actually they are actually apologists for the ADL, Christian ADL apologists. That's the playbook, family. That is the playbook. To make it so that way your testimony is good for nothing. You know how you're on the receiving end of that Christian ADL apologetic nonsense is when you tell someone that, you know what, I'm honoring the Shabbat. I went through the scriptures and I don't see anything that says that you don't have to honor the Shabbat. Oh, you one of those guys. What guys? You tell them that, you know what, you're not eating pork, you're not eating shrimp. Oh, you one of those guys. Now, back in the day, if you told someone that you're not eating pork, because I grew up not eating pork. So when I was in school, they would ask me, oh, are you a Muslim? Right? And I have to tell them, no, I'm not a Muslim. Certain things we just didn't eat in our diet growing up. Right? Grandmother thinking healthy. Right? So think about that. Christian ADL apologists. They all have the same talking points. The same talking points. Oh, let's talk about the Hebrew grassroots movement. Let's point it to Pastor Cherry or Apostle Cherry and Pastor Crowdy. And let's show this is where it started at. And absolutely a complete lie. They want to label you and I as being a cult when you start understanding your history. When you start using the very things that they were asking you for, like, hey, can I see your DNA? Boom, DNA proves it. What about your family tradition? Oh, I got the family tradition right here. Boom, right here. Oh, is there any writings or proof that slaves came off the slave ships? Okay, yeah. First African Baptist Church down in Savannah, Georgia, has Hebrew writings on the pews. Not just on the pews, it's other places inside that church. Oh, well, now we can't contest the information, but we're going to come up with lies like PBS, the PBS doctrine or documentary, the lies that they had on there trying to connect the church to Islam. Like there was some people that was practicing Islam that was hidden inside the church, all kinds of foolishness. That is a reflection of what you see Christian ADL apologists try to slander you so that way they can make it so that way your testimony is good for nothing. They're trolls. They're worse than the worst. Because I can tell you they're trolling right now. I can tell you they're going to take this video, clip it up, and oh, hey, look, Pastor Kelly, the good doctor, he's going to say, he's pushing for black Hebrew Israelites, this and this and that. And I want to make it clear. That's what defamation is. Because I'm not a black Hebrew Israelite. Right? I'm making sure you understand that those trolls that are watching, I am not a black Hebrew Israelite. And if anyone labels me that or try to label me that, I will take you to court, or you will get a letter of defamation. That's not a threat. That is a promise. And family, we have to start standing up like that. Don't let none of these Christian ADL apologists try to box you into a label. The problem is they don't know how to handle us because we are very articulate in what we say. We're not out here cursing people out. We're very educated. We're very respectable. We have assemblies. So instead, what they want to do is just like the 10 out of the 12, they want to make it so that way your report is good for nothing. Whatever you say is good for nothing. They cannot handle the information, so they want to attack and throw shade on the messenger. They want to kill the messenger because they can't handle the information. And I've stated a number of times, and I said it again on one of these platforms when I challenged them. I said, I'll challenge you all by myself. Criteria: show your face, show your real name, so everyone can see who you are, show your real name, and we'll do it all at one time, and show your credentials, and I'll show my credentials. Crickets, no one showed up. But then want to do videos afterwards, continue to do these videos. Look, I'm not into all of that. So family, I want to say this. Don't get caught up, stay focused. Don't get caught up in the sideshow. These guys are sideshow, want attention, seeking attention, don't have no argument. And I've picked apart, go back and look at my channel. I picked apart every argument that these people can ever say. But guess what? They want to try to slander. Everything that they try to accuse our community of doing, they're doing it. They want to label the Hebrew Israelites, right? They came up with a straw man and tried to put the label on it initially, black identity extremists to black Hebrew Israelites, but that couldn't work. But they want to label. So they came up with a straw man and they tried everything they can to put us under this straw man. They tried to come up with moderates. But guess what? Do you know that I could go right down a list about some of the earlier Christian groups like the Calvinists? They had moderate Calvinists, right? So I'm saying all that to say, family, and I'm not throwing jabs at no individual, but I'm actually identifying a problem when it comes to our people waking up. They want to call us a cult. They want to ask you every time you share with your loved ones, when you prove that you are the people of the book, they got to put a but behind it. I know you said that you are an Israelite, but I know you proved that you're an Israelite, but do you love Christ? Wait, don't talk to me about whether or not I love Christ. Are you doing that with the Jewish community as we know them? When most of them, matter of fact, if you want to deal with the Zionists, most Zionists are atheists. Do you do that with the Orthodox Hasidic Jews, where they don't believe in and even make reference to what we call the New Testament? Do you say that to them? Because growing up in the Baptist church, I grew up in the Baptist church, Mount Pleasant Missionary Baptist Church. My pastor was Dr. T. Van B. Rowe, and we were taught, hey, the Jews, the only difference between the Jews' belief and what we believe, they just don't believe in Christ. But let one of us say that we are an Israelite, then you want to put that at the forefront and say, do you believe in Christ? With the very people, right, we gave a pass to, and they don't have to believe in Christ. I don't see anyone showing up on their doorsteps. As a matter of fact, to take a step further, do you know that the Jewish community, right? And I'm not dealing with the Messianic Jews because there's a handful of them, but do you know that they already identified their Messiah living in Israel right now? And we don't hear the church talking about that, but we are the ones that are being talked about. They identified who their Messiah is and is living today, right now in Israel. But we don't hear any talk about that. Why? Because we are the threat. Why are we the threat? Why are we the threat? That's why I always said it's bigger than Kyrie, it's bigger than Kanye. Why? Because this awakening, they cannot put it back in a bottle. The ADL went to the well once too many times, and guess what? They stirred up the hornet's nest. Now you have people, I'm seeing testimonies, people posting videos saying, hey, you know what? Only reason why I came and read this book is because I heard what they did to Kyrie. I'm trying to figure out what's the hoopla about. And wait a minute, there's some interesting things inside this book. You know what? It's not what the ADL tried to brag about when they shut down Adidas and all. It's not what they said it was about. Wait a minute, I don't see those things here, but they gave some interesting things inside this source that I didn't know. So let's talk about this. You know what? I want to get some clarity on this, pastor, which pastors don't want to touch. So you have Christian ADL apologists. That's what I'm going to call these Christian apologists that's all throughout the church, you know, trying to hate on this awakening. It's sad when you have pastors don't want to have conversation, but they want to do everything to promote lies, continue the lies to hinder our community. Something is wrong, family. See, I tell you, I'm going to use this example again, and I'm getting ready to wrap this up. When I was 13 years old, actually, was I 13? No, 12 years old, right? 12 or 13 years old. I think I was 12. I was walking to school, and I had a goose down bomber, right? I had a special one, right? My mother, she was in the military, and I remember she sent me and my brothers from Korea. She sent us some custom-made goose down bombers that you could zip the sleeves off and make it into a vest, man. You could snap the hoodie off and everything, right? Nice. So I remember I was walking to school one day with it on, and you know, some older guys, you know what I mean? They robbed me. They rolled up on me and robbed me. And guess what? To add insult to injury, it was done right in front of a cop car. Let me say that again. It was done right in front of a cop car. Cop car sitting right there. Cops watched me get robbed. Right? So I got robbed. They took my coat. I went home. My older cousins, and we didn't refer to each other as cousins. We were all referred to as brothers and sisters. You know, we were living on 12th Street over in Newark, New Jersey, right off of South Orange Avenue at the time, right? And I remember, you know, I went back to the house, you know, and I told them what happened. So one of my older cousins said, hey, let's go. The rest of them stayed back, and my older brothers, they stayed back. And so they said, let's go. Me and him walked back down to the place where I got robbed at, and saw one of the guys. And, you know, I went to chase after him, you know, thinking my cousin was going to say, let's go. No, my cousin stopped me. My big brother, he stopped me. He said, no, we don't need to run. He said, look at where they running to. He said, you see where he ran to? You see what building he ran to? I said, yeah. He said, we don't need to chase after him. I'm good. That's all he said to me, my big brother, my big cousin. I said, all right. We went back to the house. He said, I'll get your jacket. You'll have your jacket back before the day is out. Sure enough, later on that evening, I got my jacket back. Why did I say that? Sometimes situations will just, you know, what happens so that way you know who's who. You know who's the players. You know who's on your team and who's not on your team. You will see where they're running to, the place that they default in when they're running away from you, gives you an idea of what they support. So when you see these people defaulting to their playlist, their so-called Christian ADL apologetic book, what they're doing is they're showing your hands of who's listening to them. So with this whole Kyrie Irving and Kanye West, right? This stirring up this whole situation. Now you get to see who's who. You get to see the propaganda machine in full effect. And I'm going to post and I'm going to upload the ADL exposing their hand. You know, you're going to see that this is part of their playbook to make it so that way your testimony is good for nothing. Kyrie Irving, all he did was posted a link, and what's happening? You would think that he watch the movie. He's suspended for posting a link without any commentary, but they're making him, trying to force him to say, I apologize. I'm sorry. They want him to apologize for him simply posting a link. Family, you know what happened earlier today? Right? Last night, I posted a message on my Facebook channel, and I put a hashtag. I just made a simple hashtag. Hashtag end Drywell ADL, hashtag boycott Black Friday. And do you know, this morning when I went back to my Facebook account, it was locked down, it was locked out, stating that my account is suspended for 30 days because of being a fake account. Wait a minute. I had the Facebook account for over 10 years, and now you telling me it's a fake account? Oh, we want to see your ID to prove that this is your account. We want to see a driver's license to see if this is your account. Come on, family. Who owns Facebook? You think that just happened just to, out of osmosis? You think that just happened just to be happening? You know, the ADL made it clear that they had people in different places, and you do know that Mark Zuckerberg, and this is not throwing any shade at Mark Zuckerberg, but he is Jewish. And I'm sure that there's some type of connection to the ADL in terms of the ADL reaching out to them in terms of being proactive to try to identify anti-Semitism. But I said nothing about the ADL except for hashtag Drywell ADL. And what happened? Literally, my account was frozen. It was for simply stating, as they stated, fake account. Saying that it's a fake account. Saying that I'm fake. Saying that I'm not real. Y'all think this stuff is a game, family? Shortly after I made that post, hashtag Drywell ADL. Come on, family. Come on, family. Come on, family. Boycott them all. Boycott them all. Yes, I said it. Anyone that's connected to the ADL, boycott them. I'm not just referring to businesses. I'm talking about ministries. I'm talking about churches that are endorsing the ADL tactics. Boycott them all. Boycott them all. I don't want to hear nothing from any of those groups. Boycott them all. Separate yourself. Come from amongst them, Israel. Separate yourself from this foolishness. No, we're not going to keep dealing with this nonsense. So again, you know, for those that are coming up on my channel inside the chats, oh, Pastor, do you believe in Christ? Again, do you ask the Jewish community that? Have you asked the representative of ADL, do they believe in Christ? Do you ask any of them, do they believe in Christ? So don't hold me under a higher level of questioning. You know, don't hold me to a higher standard, but you won't, the standards that you won't hold them under. Don't ask me whether or not if I believe in Christ. And here it is. I got videos on top of videos, actually, you know, arguing and protecting and proving that Christ is real, proving that Christ was not, you know, a created being, proving that Christ is not a demigod. I got videos on top of videos, and yet you want to ask me, these guys want to ask me, these ADL plants want to ask me, do I believe in Christ? Have you not read? Come on, family. Come on, family. Do you believe in Christ? You say you are a Christian. Are you being, as the definition as it is today, Christ-like? Come on. Where you at? Come on, where you at? I'll say it again. Anyone that's pushing this foolishness, they are nothing but Christian ADL apologists. That's all they are. I don't care who it is. I don't care if they're a pastor. I don't care if they're an evangelist. Anyone that's coming at you for simply understanding who you are and want to lock you in with that label that they created, Black Hebrew Israelites. None of us subscribe to that, and don't let them box you in. Being a Hebrew Israelite is not a religion. It's an ethnicity. Don't let none of them box you in with that foolishness. Don't let them box you in with this nonsense, Hebrew Israelism. Just with that very definition, I can debunk and clear up all of that nonsense with it. Why? Because the Catholic Church is practicing Hebrew Israelism. Christianity is practicing Hebrew Israelism. Why? Because when you understand the true tense, Hebraic or Hebraism, the ism is the doctrines and the culture of the Hebrews. Israelism is the doctrine, the culture of the Israelites. So the entire Bible, from whether you want to call it the New Testament, the Old Testament, the Apocrypha, regardless of what labels you want to put on it, the entire Bible is a Hebraic Israelite doctrine and culture. So anyone that's practicing it, especially if you're not a blood descendant of Israel, you are practicing Hebraism. Israelism, if you want to go that far with it. So guess what? Many that have converted to Judaism, right? Guess what? Practicing Hebrew Israelism. And I'll challenge anyone, any group, in a forum to prove everything that I just said. Who want to come test? Christian ADL Apologist. Who want to come test? So family, cancel it tomorrow. I'm saying that again. I know some of you guys probably say, calm down, Pastor. I'm not upset. I'm not hyped up. I'm passionate of what I say. I'm passionate of what I do. Because enough is enough, man. We've dealt with this long enough. Like Deuteronomy, it said when the Most High said to Israel, when it was at Mount Horeb, they said, you've been at this mountain long enough. Family, we've been going circles and circles. We've been at this mountain long enough. We've been at this mountain long enough letting people say whatever they want to say to us and don't take a stand. We've been out this mountain long enough when you're trying to tell me who I am not, because I understand who I am. We've been at this mountain long enough. It's time to take a stand, man. It's time to move past this mountain, like the Messiah said. Hey, you can speak to that mountain and tell that mountain to be removed. I'm not pushing. I never been called to push mountains away. I've been called, and each one of you have been given the power to look at that mountain and you tell that mountain to be removed, to get out of your way, get behind you. So this is what we have to do right now with one voice, Akkad, one voice. One voice, family. See, the playbook of the ADL, the Christian ADL Apologist, they want us to be divided. They want us to have to give disclaimers every time we do a teaching. I just want to give you guys a heads up. I'm not part of this group. I'm not part of this group. I don't subscribe to this group. I don't subscribe to this group. Do they do that when they start theirs? When they start their teachings, do they say, I want to first let you guys know I'm not a Catholic. You know, I don't believe in covenant theology. I don't believe in Calvinism. I don't believe in, do they go down their list? I'm not a Jehovah's Witness. I'm not a Mormon. I'm not a Baptist. Do they go down their list? I'm not a Methodist. Do they go down their list? Or I don't believe in the holiness movement. Do they go down that disclaimer when they talk about their doctrine, when they talk about the tenets of Christianity? Do they go down that list? But yet they want us to start having a disclaimer whenever we speak about our identity. Man, forget all of that. That's why I say I don't have to prove nothing to no one. Who want come test? Who want come test? Where's Geno Jennings? I see a post saying, where's Geno Jennings? Where's Geno Jennings? Geno Jennings silent. He's not saying anything about Kyrie, but he had a lot to say about the Hebrew Israelites. Where's Geno Jennings? Where's Pastor Geno Jennings? Come on now, family. You know, I don't. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to give any disclaimers, right? Because I was about to contradict myself. But Farrakhan, he spoke his piece. You got rabbis, Orthodox rabbis speaking their piece in support, calling out this nonsense. Where is Geno Jennings? Geno, where are you, Geno? Pastor Geno Jennings. Where's the pastors like T.D. Jakes? Where's these guys at? Where's the Tyler Perrys? Where are these guys at? Silent. Why? Because they're all connected to, they are nothing but Christian ADL representatives. That's all they are. Christian ADL apologists, all of them. Every last one of them, every last one of them. Every last one of them are part of that system. Come out from among them, family. Come on, Gino. You challenged me when I was about 5-6 years ago on Facebook, and then when you saw me teaching, you decided to get out of that chat and delete and block me. Come on, Gino. Let's talk about this stuff. We don't have to talk about the Shabbat. We don't have to talk about none of that. Let's talk about identity. Let's talk about this situation that's happening right now. Come on, TD Jakes. You said you did your DNA and you found that your heritage go back to the Igbo people, which Henry Kissinger, which is the Secretary of State for Nixon, made it clear that the Igbos are the wandering Jews of West Africa. Where are you, TD Jakes? I don't hear you saying anything. Where are you? Come on, family. It's time for us to be together, unified with one voice. Where are you? 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 They all closed right now. Only ones we seeing talking are the ones that's making it clear that they're the hopping balls. We see Charles Barkley talking. Maybe we don't like what Charles Barkley is saying, but at least he said something. I don't like what Shaquille O'Neal said. At least he's saying something. I don't like what many of our brothers and sisters are saying, but at least they're saying something. Where are you, Pastor Jennings? Gino Jennings? Where are you, TD Jakes? Where are you, Creflo Dollar? Where are you guys? Come on. Where are you? Anyway, with that being said, family, be on the lookout for the Road to Savannah coming out by the end of this week. I promise you it will be out by the by before the weekend is out. I promise you. I may have to break it up into 2 pieces because of the length of the video, but the Road to Savannah be coming out. Family, be encouraged. Cancel them all. Boycott Black Friday, which none of you guys should be supporting anyway. But cancel Black Friday. Cancel. Put that hashtag out there about Drywell ADL. Cancel them all. Let's boycott them all. Let's be one voice. Just like Israel, when they cried out to the Most High, they cried out to the Most High when they was in their bondage to the Egyptians with one voice. And the Most High moved mightily. We're seeing a movement like never before. Cry out to the Most High. With that being said, family, I got to go. Shalom.